Everybody. So we are doing another set of reviews. With each review, you will see this week, we are preparing to have an amazing guest with us on Monday, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. I do that all the time. Like I just discussed the time. Let me double check it because why am I stuttering on if it's 8:30? Or 7:30. Thank you for your patience. Please do like the page. Please do like the page and all that greatness. Okay, so it is 7 Central, 8 Eastern, March 1st. Beth LaFavre and I speaking about personal experiences with the Course in Miracle. And Beth has traveled internationally, just as my other guests that I had in January and in February, and has been part of the personal growth movement for decades. So you're going to love to see her experience, her real life experience with the course. And you're also going to receive, right, like an answer to something that's been bothering you with each one of these. If this is the first time you're watching me or if you have been following me, please stay tuned as you continue to see the evolution of what happens in my life when I shift, get out of the box. So this review, and we're going to review 10, but I'm going to show you how to take these 10 lessons and embed them in your body. And you're going, what? I'm going to embed what? Well, you're telling yourself stories every day. You're telling yourself stories that either upset you or you're telling yourself stories that encourage you. And we as a society are evolving to the point when we are understanding this. Now we're ready to embody it. Now, what I want to bring your attention to is that of your Trinity, and let's talk about Trinity. We're talking about mental intelligence. We're talking about emotional intelligence. And then, talking about physical intelligence. Now, I am going to tell you a very short story for you to understand how your body is the only part of that Trinity, of your Trinity, of my Trinity, of any human's Trinity that is in the now moment. Any disconnection mentally or emotionally from what's going on right now, right here, as you hold this phone, is a disconnect from you being integrated in the now moment. Let that sink in. Then you might say, well, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I'm with you right now. I feel great. Not complaining about anything. That's because we're in a frequency right now. Now I want to go through an exercise with you so that when you're not listening to the sound of my voice and you get off of this and you are faced with a visual illusion that upsets you, I want you to know that it's a gift and that it is time for you to think outside of this neurological box of automatic nervous system responses. You see, we have biblical stories and we have many, many people that attest to this process. Aren't you ready for it to work in your life? But this is how you do it. This is the 1, 2, 3 of how to integrate your 3 intelligences and bring yourself in alignment with the now moment. And in doing this, you're going to redefine some words that at one point may have brought shame into your emotional body. For example, integrity. Anytime I am not thinking, feeling the exact same experience that my body is having, then I'm out of integrity. That doesn't mean I'm a bad person. That means that I don't have access to the fullness of my soul. And this is my free will. What I do once I'm past 25, and this is some brain health stuff. You don't have a frontal lobe fully developed, and a frontal lobe is used for discernment. Should I go left or should I go right? That's why most things that we've done that we still attach a lot of shame to, we did before the age of 25. Now, shame is a very powerful emotion. So you get a limiting belief one of two ways. You either had a very traumatic experience that embedded a big charge of emotion in your spinal column, in your nervous system, too much information at one time that overwhelmed the system. And then you filed that experience as dangerous, life-threatening. It could actually have been life-threatening. I've had a gun held to my head before. So these things are like in my body, this stimulus response, fear, right? Now it's subconscious. I don't remember that every day. In fact, I didn't remember that the other day, until it's time to purge this deep fear, and it was when I was protecting someone else. So it wasn't something that I stimulated. I was protecting someone else. And so what I'm trying to explain is, even like bringing it up right now, it's not happening right now, and it is bringing up those emotions again, because you see, this is what this is about. I can bring that up. It was forgiven, but I'm bringing it up for a purpose of teaching. You see, at one point, you either have a limiting belief, you have this box that is now upsetting you, that at one point it protected you. So the boxes are good, your limiting belief systems are good, until they're not. And things that didn't upset you may start upsetting you. So you want to be able to understand it's time to part through this upset and see what is your body wanting you to purge, so that you can be more in the now moment, where you can be more in aligned, where you can be thinking from the now moment, and not being in the now moment fearing the future moments. Because if you're in the past, you're also projecting the future simultaneously really, really fast. So this practice, like the first time you do, if you've been following from the beginning, we're going over the lessons. You can watch yesterday to kind of get caught up. But today we're going to do 10. And we're going to do them in succession because we want to build an automatic nervous system, right? That automatically keeps us in the now moment, where we refer to our body first, then our emotions, then we form a thought. Now, in order to do that, because that's the actual practice of being in the now moment, because I don't know who I'm here to help. I just know I'm here to help everyone that hears the sound of my voice. I'm not here to do anything but love who's in front of me when they're in front of me. Now that has been a whole shift, bringing myself into alignment. And so what I'm explaining to you is, in this shift, so has my environment shifted. My physical appearance, used to weighing 450 pounds, and now you see what you look like. Before the 450 pounds, I used to be very thin, but thought I was very fat. So my whole life story has been to model what a thought does over time to the body, and how the body can then align back and heal itself. The body is full of intelligence. And I don't know if you can relate to my story, but this is the story I'm supposed to share. So please understand, there may be some tears. What I've been seeing is like this quote, the people who know God well, like, why do you want to break the box? Because you will need to do some emotional healing to break this box. Because it's your emotions that are holding the way of thinking in place. Okay? All right. So the people who know God well, the mystics, the hermits, those who risk everything, always meet a lover, not a dictator. So to do this work, there's a high level of self-acceptance. And when I speak about my mother in this, she is a holy woman, and I love her dearly. And because I love her, I modeled her eating disorder, but in reverse. You see, my mom, like, as far as trusting my body, it was something I was told not to trust from very, very young. Don't trust it. If it's hungry, don't eat. And, my mom at one time weighed under 100 pounds. And we were always on a diet. There was no such thing as, like, I would cook and then I would bring the food to the men. This is general, right? Just go with the body pattern. If you want to understand how could you have disconnected from the obvious truth, you need to go back to when you were before 3. Not judge it, not blame it. Just say, hey, what was motorically going on? I'm a quick learner. You're a quick learner. We learn quick, right? I survived. I'm fine. I'm thriving. Nobody hurt me. I mean, and I was hungry a lot. A lot. And I remember being in my bedroom wanting to eat. I remember cooking suppers and, cooking the gravies and all of that and saying, can't eat any. Don't eat. And it was like losing was a big deal for me. Like, if I was losing, I was winning. And if you're following the conversation with Patty and I on the Science and Solar Words, I'm also doing Wealth as a Spiritual Practice and realizing I never have money. Like, I have lost a lot of money in my life. I've lost a lot of money. Made a lot of people money, but personally, I've lost a lot of money. Made a lot of money, never kept any of it. And it has been in this revelation and doing this review that I could see that emotionally losing was winning for me. Like, the more I lost, the more weight I lost, the more I held my breath, the more I didn't say, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat, my body says to eat, I'm going to follow my right now, trust my body. No. I followed a path of years. I've had breast reduction surgery, gastric bypass surgery. I have done everything going against my body for the purpose of shifting what I look like. My whole mental structure was my body was broken, my body is bad, my body is ugly, my body's not acceptable. I can't trust it, I can't feed it anything. Anything I feed it balloons up. There is no way to know when you get out of a neural network like that. And it wasn't like a all the time one trauma. This was how it was done at my house, and this was loving. And my mom and I also giggled and laughed and said, yes, we did it. We made it another day. We didn't eat anything. All we did was drink this lemon water or this cayenne pepper, or we did this. Yay for us. You see, there was a lot of love also bonded with these times of famine. So what do you think that's been doing to my root chakra? That was anchored. Now, yay, I can talk about it. I can share about it. It has moved through this practice. What I'm about to do with you is what I did with me this morning. And everything I shared with you was the insight. Now, don't you want some insight like that in your life? You deserve it. You deserve to know the truth about yourself and about your resiliency. So right now, bring up the upset. Bring up whatever problem you're having. It doesn't matter, because we're going to go to the root of it. And you're going to see through this. And in this process, you're not going to have regret as this veil comes up. You're going to meet a lover. You're going to meet a cheering squad. You're going to see you're connected to the power of love, and forgiveness is easy. That's what you get to experience doing this right now. So you're precious. Take time right now. Bring the upset to mind. Bring it up. Bring up what was wrong, or what you're worried about yourself, or you're worried about money, your career, your love life. Bring it up. Now, notice how you're seeing images. Notice that you're creating those images. Notice you're now creating your upset. You see the process? Beautiful. Now, we're doing this process in order to bring forth the integration of your mental intelligence, your emotional intelligence, and your physical intelligence. Doing this process will give you the vision, the emotions, and the divine guided actions to align you to a frequency of affluence, beauty, service of things you're passionate about. It will allow you to shine. You are different and unique. Your mistakes are extra special. They house so much information. So when you get out of this box, you're going to be able to see. Okay? And receive. Beautiful. So when you have it up, you have the upset, you notice how you created it, you notice how you kind of like the pictures then stimulate the emotions, right? You got it? Okay, repeat after me. I am upset because I see what is not there. I see only the past. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see nothing as it is now. My thoughts do not mean anything. Okay, great. Now, do you feel more peace coming into your body? Like you're starting to look around the room and you're starting to say, hey, yeah, no one's betraying me right now. Everything's fine. Can you feel your nervous system kind of relaxing? Now, that whole routine is labeled a meaningless thought. One meaningless thought leads to a plethora, a whole bunch of them, of meaningless thoughts. Those meaningless thoughts are then all grouped emotionally and have been running automatically. So as soon as you would get rid of one story of victimhood, the same pattern would occur. You would think, I get rid of the person, I'd get rid of the problem. I get out of the job, I don't have the problem. No, my sweethearts, it's your perception always. And how much trouble you're having in your life is an indication at some point, because I kind of welcome movement and what other people call a little bit trouble, because it is in the growth, right? But manageable, not to the point that it freezes me like it did for years, right? The whole thing about I'm winning when I'm losing, like that one got old. And so, you know, at one point you outgrow some of the things that you need to struggle, you know, like when you get to walk, you start walking, you can still crawl, but you don't struggle walking anymore. Well, that's where we're moving. when we do this. What's next is in God's control. Because I am getting out of the box of thinking that I am anywhere else other than right now. And I'm establishing faith. I am saying it again and again and again. I have everything at my fingertips. Everything right now that is required of me and that I require to live a very amazing life is right here at my fingertips. I multiply the enoughness I have right now. And the change that is occurring in my business is happening exponentially at the same time. So if you feel stuck in trying to get something online or whatever, you have to understand you're stuck with upsetting yourself, thinking you're behind. We're never going to get there. So this will help you part that box. Okay? Now let's go deeper. I want you to recreate the upset again. See, once you get you're creating it, and we can recreate upset, then you can uncreate upset, okay? And doing it in this little segment of time gives you a structured environment in order to upset yourself and then unupset yourself, all right? So when you get off of this video, you're going to be unupset. You're going to be peaceful again, all right? So understand that. So right now, I want you to bring up the upset again. Come on, get the pictures going. And we are going to shatter meaningless thoughts with this practice. Okay. Are you upset? You should be. You have the right to be. You have the right to be upset. It's your free will to be upset. Now, let's be real. We haven't evolved past being upset. Right? Okay. Very good. Good and upset. Now say, repeat after me. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. I am upset because I see a meaningless world. You see, you're upset because you have just superimposed over your optical nerve system something that is not there. It's like another screen just dropped, boom. I don't see my assets. I don't see what's at my fingertips. All I see is something of the past, and that is meaningless, and I'm stopping it right now with the thought level. Like I can easily catch it, just like you can't do. Oh my God, that's of the past. It's meaningless. See? Boom. Bring it right back, right? Meaningless thought. Showing me a meaningless world. Good job. Repeat after me. A meaningless world. Now, a meaningless world engenders fear. Do you suffer high anxiety? It's because we need to establish a neural pathway where you trust your biology, your intelligence. It's time for you to align your physical intelligence. Too top heavy, you're too word heavy, you're too mental heavy. It's too mental, which is creating too much emotional. Or you're too emotional, and then that's creating too many scary pictures. Either way, you're disconnected from the now moment. You're disconnected from your intelligence, your physical's intelligence, right? So let's connect to the truth, to the now. You ready? Okay. A meaningless world engenders fear. So now you can see the difference. So what do you think is going to replace fear? But peace, truth, alignment. God did not create a meaningless world. God, creator, the universe, did not create a meaningless world. Therefore, you are now giving permission of your eyes, say it right now, that you're going to see the way the creator sees it, outside of your trauma. All you have to do is be willing. how you see it is going to evolve over the next 12 to 24 hours in a gentle, graceful way. Because that's the way of your soul. When we say you meet a lover, when you really get you're co-creating with this loving force, that force of nature, of beauty, of evolution, then you're willing to break out of the box that has been fueled with fear. You're disassembling your fear response. Because I promise you, anything that you need to protect yourself from, you will be able to do it in the moment. So over-preparing can be painful to your nervous system and to your mental health. So right now, you are going to own that my thoughts are images I have made, not the creator. Now with this, I want you to put your hands together. Patty showed us this one. I think it's like this. Anytime you touch your heart center like this, pay attention to your breathing. Best either, flat feet on the ground or in the lotus position, so that you can also feel the grounding to the center of the earth. You can begin a dialogue with your physical intelligence. Imagine you living a life that follows the beautiful grace and flow, connection, sharing that is pulsing through your soul. Imagine the pictures of beauty that you can see when you stop seeing and creating images from the past to scare yourself right now. So that's what's happening in this review. So it's a lot. It's 2 days, but I feel these together are very powerful and you're ready for it. So do this 2 or 3 times if you need to in order to really feel it. You may find some resistance. If you do, relax and keep going with it. Remember, follow my page, share this video if it inspires you, and know that together we're going to continue to have simple, profound, and fun experiences in our year of miracles. Mwah.